What's up guys, welcome back once again to the reviews. I'm Adam from Diddy Reviews, and today I'm going to be doing a short video and I'm going to be testing this, which is a M.2 heatsink from Thermalright. This is the HR-09, so we're going to unbox it, get it installed, and we'll see how well it works. So as you can see, we have the HR-09 from Thermalright. Massive thank you to Thermalright for sending this over. I've got a few more products from them, which I'll be reviewing very soon. But first of all, we're going to do a quick video on this. I've done an M.2 heatsink before from Johnsbow, so we'll see sort of how well this performs as well. So yeah, let's have a look at the packaging first. It's a dual side SSD cooling, so it does cool both sides. We'll have a look at that when we actually open it up. Full solid heatsink, and it's a 6mm heat pipe that runs all the way through. This is one heat pipe that runs through the fin stack there, and premium thermal pads. So it is copper heat pipes, and it's aluminium fins and nickel plated. Yeah, so let's have a look inside, see what we get, and see how this looks. So open it up, you've got your standard instructions, shows you how to install it. Shouldn't be too difficult, but yeah, so they're there if you need them. I don't think I will. And then all else you get really is the actual heatsink itself. Nothing much to tell you about what else is in the box. And this is the heatsink. As you can see, it's an absolute beast for an M.2 heatsink. You can see just how tall it is. Yeah, and it's got that single heat pipe that runs through there. It's got the Thermalright brand on there. It's actually really nicely finished as well. It doesn't look cheap at all, and it's not even that expensive. I'll put up on the screen how much it costs. So yeah, it looks absolute beast. And like I said, you've got double-sided, so as you can see at the bottom here, you've got this plate here which you remove using these two screws. Take this off and you've got a thermal pad this side, thermal pad this side. So it sandwiches your M.2 SSD to keep it nice and cool, both sides. So obviously your heat from the bottom will transfer through this into the fin stack, and obviously from the top will come through here as well. So let's get it installed and let's see how well it performs. First of all, we'll do a test with the stock heatsink on my Asus B550E board, and then we'll put this on and see how much difference it makes. Right, so we've got it installed, I've done the test, now it's time to talk about the results, and actually they're absolutely fantastic. I didn't expect them to be quite this good, so like I said, I did it with a stock test of the sort of cooler built into the motherboard. It's a B550E from Asus, the ROG, and it's got built-in obviously thermal pads for heat dissipation through the basically metal pieces that go across the front of it. So I did that first. And then obviously I put this new cooler in from Thermalright, and I tested it to see sort of what the improvement was, if any. Now I used Crystal Disk Mark, which is probably what most people would use for this type of thing, and I ran 1 gigabyte files of 5 passes on each, also sequential read, sequential write, and then random read and write as well. As I'll talk about this, I'll put these results up on the screen so you can actually see them for yourselves, and you can sort of make a comparison. Pause it if you want to have a look and have a better comparison. I'll put them up individually, and then I'll probably put them up side by side so you can see them and have a proper comparison, and I'll obviously label what's what. So first of all, the stock test using the B550 built-in heatsink. Idle on this drive was 34. This is an ADATA X. I'll put it up on the screen what model it is. 1 terabyte M.2 anyway. It's a Gen 3. I'll put this up on the screen like I say, and this so you know what I'm talking about. So idle, like I say, was 34 degrees. We had a maximum over the whole test of 46 degrees, and then average throughout the whole test. So all your sequential reads, randoms, and sequential read and writes, and random read and writes as well. Over the whole test, we had an average of 42 degrees. So then obviously I popped the Thermalright cooler on. Now I do want to say in terms of installation, I showed you how to put the drive into the actual cooler. I didn't show me installing it because it was a bit of a faff for me, as it's already, my motherboard's already in my case. I definitely recommend, if you're using this, either take your motherboard out or do it before you install it if you're doing it on a first build, because it is quite tricky to get in. But it's the same with any M.2 installation really. They're quite tricky because it's such a small screw, unless you've got the new motherboards that have just like a screwless sort of captive bolt type thing that clips them in rather than using a screw. So yeah, bear that in mind if you're getting one of these. They are quite fiddly to do if it's already in your case. Now moving on to the test results for the cooler itself. We had an idle of 26, so we dropped, what's that, 8 degrees on idle. So massive drop. When I first saw it I was like, wow, that's pretty good. And also we had a maximum of 37 degrees, so a drop of 9 degrees overall, and an average of 33 degrees across the whole test. Again, a drop of 9 degrees across the board. So as you can see, absolutely worth having if you want to keep your M.2s cool. They didn't run too hot before, obviously. Just bearing that in mind, it's not something you definitely need. But if you want to keep your drives cool, maybe make them last a bit longer, maybe improve the speed, which is something I'll get onto in just a second, then it is something definitely worth considering. And it does look pretty cool as well. Obviously, I showed on the video what it looked like when it was installed. It's quite dark in there, so it's quite hard to see, but it does look pretty cool. A massive chunk of heatsink on your motherboard. Talking about the performance, on the screen you'll be able to see them. So there was actually a bump in performance with this cooler on. Whether keeping it that little bit cooler, 9 degrees cooler, has helped the performance of it is, I'm not sure, to be honest with you. I've not done many tests on M.2s or SSDs in general, so that could be a factor. But it is quite a it's not a massive bump, but it is a bump that's noticeable in terms of performance. It could just be margin of error. I don't know, but it looks pretty good and does the job and cools it very well. So yes, I definitely recommend going out and purchasing one of these if you want to keep your M.2s cooler. They definitely do that. They do what they're supposed to do, and it is an absolute beast. It looks a right chunk. I have noticed on Thermalright's website, because I had a quick look just to see what else they did, and they actually do a pro version as well, which has 2 thin stacks on it, which I can only imagine how cool that keeps it. It'd be nice to get one of those maybe one day and do a test on that as well, just to see what it's like. They also do RGB sort of M.2 coolers, but they're not like this. You haven't got a big, tall, thin stack on top of them. They're just like a low profile one, more like you'd see from the other brands. So if you want some RGB, then they also do one of those as well. Maybe again, I'll get one of those in stock at some point myself to test. But yeah, like I say, I want to say a big thank you to Thermalright for sending us over. I've got 2 more products from Thermalright that I am going to test very soon. Hopefully you'll stick around and watch those. I hope you've enjoyed this video. I hope it lets you know whether you want to buy one of these or not, and has informed you into how well they work. If I've done that, then I've done my job, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching.